Hello, fellow souls. My name's Nadia Colazio. I am finally popping onto the internet in a different space than I've ever been before. And it took me a long time because of a lot of different reasons, but I'm really excited to finally get on here and be able to share a couple of the things that I've learned through many different life experiences. Sometimes it takes a long time to get to the point where you feel like you have stuff to share that's of value, but at this point I've been through a lot of different things, overcome a lot of different challenges, and I'd like to share some of my tips and tricks that got me to where I am today, which is in summary, in essence, falling in love with myself and really getting to know who I am and who I want to be. And it's been a really incredible journey. There's been a lot of ups and downs. A lot of it has felt very isolating and lonely. And I'm sure a lot of you that are drawn to listen to my videos, my channel, my podcast, whatever this ends up turning into, you kind of understand how that feels and maybe find some comfort in knowing that you're not alone on your journey, and there's always people out there that have been going through what we've been going through, and we can reach out for support. So to get to know me a little bit better, we grew up on a ranch, lots of animals. We've always had animals all of our lives, so they're super duper important to me. I have a couple of animals of my own, and they're very special. I'm sure you'll meet them at some point. And I have my real estate license. I have done a lot of different odd jobs, couple different things that don't really match up together, but they've all given me the experience that I have today. I am living with my partner of 5 years, and we are super happy together, and I'm super excited to see where all that goes. And I started my spiritual journey like officially back in November of 2024, and before that there's a lot of different things that I kind of did here and there, or just a little bit of a dabbling with other things to, I guess, get me to the point where I could actually start my real journey. And since then, it's just been a snowball. It's been incredible. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about what's out there in the world for us. We are taught to see things in a very limiting way. Just in general, we're kind of told what to believe most of the time. I was lucky I didn't have that, at least not too strongly when I was growing up. My mom was very encouraging of us becoming our own people and deciding what we believe in as human beings and adults eventually. But she allowed us to explore that as kids too, which was super important. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual, especially at this point. We kind of always have been, but just like little things here and there. Had explored some meditation and other things when I was younger, but very sparingly. And I didn't get into that until November 2024. That's when I started actually meditating every day, even just for a couple minutes, and connecting in with yourself, with myself. But that was a really big part of the start of my journey, and continues to. I also started exploring other things like breath work, retreats, even stuff like past life regression at this point. So I'm really just diving in head first to all this stuff. But I'm still figuring out what is the best for me, and I kind of wanted to bring you along on that journey, see if we can figure things out together, and also just kind of share what I've learned, because I've learned a lot at this point from a lot of different teachers, a lot of different people, a lot of friends and family in my life. I have not only gone through these experiences, but I've learned from them. I've taken the lessons with me and I apply them to my daily life and my own personal growth, which will never stop, because we have never gotten to the top of growth. It always keeps going. There's always more to learn. That's what I truly believe. And I am really grateful that I've gotten to the point where I can be okay on camera and I can be okay speaking out. I haven't always been that way, but I know at this point that I have a lot to share and a lot of value to offer and to bring to the table, or rather social media, I guess, wherever you guys find me. That's great. I know I'm gonna bring in people that either want or need to hear something that I have to say. You'll always take what you like and leave the rest. That's what I've always believed in. That's what I've always done on these different things that I've explored on my own. And everybody has something to say, but everything will resonate with us on different levels, and that's up to us to determine what that is, what resonates with us, and what feels like something that we need to hear at that time, that place, from that person, whatever it is. Same things from other people, and it just hits differently from me saying it, or you've never heard these things before and it's like, wow, that's cool. I am super happy to be able to share what I've learned, like I said. And I want to create a space that is about education, other people sharing their stories. So I want to bring people on to interview them. I know a lot of people with incredible stories, and I'd really like to get those out there if they'll share them with me. And anyone else that just wanted to bring any insight to certain things, all these things that a lot of us just kind of keep to ourselves or keep inside or only share with close family and friends. So I guess in essence, I'm trying to open up a lot more discussion about certain things, and it could be little things that we go through in our life, or people's personal stories, or much bigger things that people don't necessarily always talk about or want to share, or get weirded out by or uncomfortable. But there's so much that we can explore in this life and on this earth and with other people that I don't want to keep myself in the container that I feel like I've kept myself in for so long. Not wanting to be seen, not wanting the spotlight, but I can control that a little bit better this way, so I'm more comfortable with doing it like this. And sorry, my dog's hair just always migrates to my face and then tickles me. But I have a lot to say, and I'm really ready to open up at this point, and I know a lot of people that have a lot to say as well, and I'd like to, again, bring that space to have us be comfortable to talk about that, and then to share that with a lot of other people, because a lot of people are going through similar, if not the same things, and it can really just help to have more of us out there with our voices and our stories. Validation is a huge thing, and whether you're validating yourself or someone else is coming in and able to validate your experiences and your feelings, that's been really important for me, and I've found that for myself in a lot of different places and from a lot of different teachers and resources that we have access to this day and age. Of course, the internet is incredible, and I want to contribute to that at this point. I have a lot to contribute, and I'm ready, and I think that the world is ready too for us to open up certain discussions about things that we might not have talked about openly before. So I decided that I was gonna just screw it. I'm gonna just do a video as well. I have this fancy schmancy light that I bought a couple years ago and haven't used until now. And then I have these microphones that I'll probably have for next time. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being open-minded. I've had to be a lot through my journey, and I'm so grateful that I have been. I've had incredible experiences by just opening myself up to them, and trusting and having faith. So hopefully that's a good introduction. I was going to share a little more about me, but I kind of went more into what this aim was. But that's what this is. This is just an introduction. Welcome, and I love you, and I appreciate you, and you are valid in how you've been feeling. And sometimes it takes someone to just say that for us to realize, oh yeah, I am valid, and then we self-validate as well, and that's the most important part, is to get that validation from ourselves. But sometimes it takes another person telling you that, in whatever way it is, for us to get to the point where we're like, yeah, I am. So I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm grateful that you're alive. I'm grateful that I'm alive and here, and I think that's all that I really want to say in this intro. But again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.